someone just in passing kind of mentioned Cesar Chavez, and then it got me to thinking about it, and the more I read up on him, the more intrigued I was about his story and about the idea of creating something that wasn't just about his story, but about the story of the people, and about how you could really touch on all the different sides of history, of the Mexican-American history. And I'm not a historical reenactor, and that's how I came up with the idea of incorporating the Virgin Mary into the storyline as a way to go to the different moments of Caesar's past. And so it just took a life of its own. I wanted to make sure that I infused the comedy and the drama, but that it was all natural. So I never pushed when it came to comedy. I tried to let it develop from the situation. This was my first serious attempt at writing and essentially directing myself. I take it to little theaters like the one that you saw it at in Hollywood. I take it to big performing arts centers. I take it to juvenile halls, so a lot of the underserved kids get to see it. I would say probably not as many Latino audiences see it as many as I would like, though. I think it probably leans more toward, you know, I mean, not necessarily the Caucasian audiences, but maybe the middle class in general. Taking it to the kids in the juvenile halls, you're taking it to people that probably have never seen theater before. I always ask the kids how many of them have seen a play before. So the hands that get raised, it's peppered throughout the class. It's very, very few. And then some of them probably will never get a chance to go out to see a play again, because a lot of those kids are in there for life. They're going to transition from juvenile detention to the adult penitentiaries. And in that, exposing them to theater, a lot of them are amazed. It's very magical. There's so many different things that can happen from it. Some of them want to become writers after that. Some of them are thinking about being, you know, there's just so many possibilities.
In the 1970s, you know, the union ran into trouble internally, and the LA Times did a series. How did you react to it when the series came out?
People started actually asking me if I still thought that I should do the show. It didn't scare me off at all. I thought more than anything, it was a good time to do the show, to present, you know, as many different aspects to his story and the labor struggle story, so people can determine for themselves. Someone who had seen the show wrote a piece on the show from the Hollywood Fringe Festival, and had commented about how they didn't feel that there was enough of blemishes, Caesar's blemishes, that were shown in the piece that I did. They thought that it would have created more of a complex piece. You know, perhaps they're right. I was trying to focus as specifically as I could on Caesar's internal, what was going on with him internally. So as far as like dealing with the political things and the troubles within the union and things like that, I feel like that's almost a whole other piece.
What does the future hold now? You're going to stay with this, but are you doing other things?
I'd like to do other things. I have a lot of ideas. Since this was the first solo piece that I've ever done, I had some fear, and now that I've done it, it's like I've, you know, evolved into a whole other performer. I would love to do more pieces. I'd like to do something on my dad's experiences in Vietnam. You know, I'd like to do a one-person show on that. I'd love to do a show on the Las Carpas de Mexico, which were the tent shows. Las Carpas were basically Mexican vaudeville. So I'd love to do a solo show on that. Just a lot of different possibilities.